Forgive me my trespasses. Father of heaven, forgive me my trespasses.
I love thee, Esther.
We could run away.
Not in the sight of God.
We could run from his magistrates.
Surely, Esther. Surely you see me more.
I see only a judge, Arthur. A judge in whose name I was married to a man I did not love.
As the Lord teaches us in our hearts each day. So we lift up our prayers in the name of our Father of mercy. Amen. Good morning, ladies. Esther.
I am guilty, Arthur. I cannot hide it. I have sinned.
As have I. Is there not some way? Can we not entrust our vice to heaven's mercy? Is not his silence grace?
I am with child. There are few ways now.
God has seen fit to judge us.
Perhaps he saw fit to bless us.
That child is a curse, Esther. A curse from God. Better for that child to never see the light of the sun.
This child is the mercy God saw fit to bestow on us in our sin. They may punish me, but no hand shall lay upon this child for what we hath done.
What wilt thou tell them?
The truth. I cannot hide it, Arthur. But I can hide thee.
Why? Why should they suspend the humiliation I deserve?
Thy secret is not mine to share. They may recognize the mother, but they have no need to know the father. While I bear my punishment, thou may yet have peace.
Peace, Esther. Peace in the knowledge that half the wrong was mine. Peace when they inflict the most severe punishment on thee because of thy silence. They may kill thee, Esther.
Pray for mercy, Arthur. It may be that God has some.
But Reverend Dimsdale.
I beg you, sirs. What is the cause of this?
Reverend Dimsdale, a member of thy congregation has been found to be with child from an adulterous relationship. The penalty is death, according to God's righteous law.
What of a trial?
For the sake of upholding justice, a trial shall be held, though none is needed. For where is her husband, Reverend Dimsdale?
He is leagues away. Yet perhaps he is dead. After 3 years' time, he may have perished at the bottom of the ocean.
Do you defend her, Brother Dimsdale?
It is for God to defend or condemn, Brother Wilson. Be slow to take life, lest the Lord ask for it from thy hand hereafter.
The young Reverend is wise, albeit young. If it would be to thy salvation, Mistress Esther, I would grant thee life 1,000 times over. No one of natural temper better than I. Can you not better urge her to no longer add the name of him who tempted her to this grievous fall? Should Madam Esther face a shepherd or another, Arthur, is it you or I?
Were it not wronging the very nature of a woman to force her to lay open her heart's secret in such broad daylight? Surely the sin lay in its commission, Reverend, and not in the showing of it forth.
You are wrong, Reverend. I respect thy wisdom at such a young age, but you must now acknowledge mine. Were it not better to uncover her sin and offer her God's holy gift of repentance than to cast her into hell by lack of our perseverance?
Is it not for God to cast into hell, Brother Wilson?
If thy hand causes thee to sin, cut it off. But if she will not do it for herself, then the law must do it for her.
Thou canst not come here anymore. Thou must not see me.
Art thou angered? What was sin and betrayal?
I promised. I made a promise that I would never reveal thy name. Do not make me break my promise, Arthur.
And if the husband should appear,
They will find me guilty. He will watch me hang.
surely he has no charity.
He has none. Do not hope for mercy from he who married a girl of 16, who she tearfully begged on hands and knees for her release.
Though the source of my guilt, Esther, I long for the affections we once shared.
Did we not know this awaited us?
I shall beg God for forgiveness. While thee livest out thy punishment under that scarlet letter, I shall die every day, knowing that I should stand beside thee on that scaffold, that we should hang together in the sight of this righteous colony.
It will not be. They shall never know thy name.
They believe I am earnestly entreating you to reveal your love. But when I leave here, I shall lie to them and say you will not open your mouth. Do not cause me to sin anymore, Hester.
I may have caused thee to sin once, Arthur. But I am constrained behind these prison walls and can no longer affect the man I love.
Wilt thou not reveal his name then?
Nay, I will not.
Then I have no need to lie.
Time is near, Hester. May God have mercy on thy child.
Open a passage. I promise ye, Mistress Prynne will be set where man, woman, and child may have a fair sight of a brave apparel.
It were well if we stripped Madame Esther's rich gown off her dainty shoulders, and let us see that scarlet letter.
Peace! Make way! Good people, make way in the king's name!
Who is this?
You must needs be a stranger here, friend.
Yes, a stranger. I've spent the past years wandering in God-forsaken lands.
Then know that you are now in a land of justice.
Great friend. Tell me more.
The mistress, Hester Prynne, did engage in an adulterous relationship while awaiting her husband's arrival in these colonies. She hath created quite a scandal in Reverend Dimmesdale's church.
And what of the father?
We shall need a Daniel to expound that mystery. Madam Hester refuses to say, though the magistrates and the godly Master Dimmesdale did inquire her to give his name.
Her punishment, then?
She shall wear a scarlet letter on her breast from this day forth until her death.
A wise sentence, indeed. And no word of her husband?
Neither word nor message have been heard for more than 3 years. Some suggest he died on the crossing from England.
been hurt to me netherless, that the partner of her iniquity should not stand on the scaffold by her side.
God will reveal the man, and he shall receive his due in time, sir.
He will be known. He will be known. He will be known.
Hearken unto me, Esther Prynne. Esther Prynne, I have striven with my younger brother here, under whose preaching of the word you have been privileged to sit. I have sought for him to be your questioner. What say you to it? Once again, Brother Dimsdale, must it be thou or I that shall deal with this poor sinner's soul?
Shall your partner in iniquity be allowed to hide any longer? Would it not be better for him that you shout his name from the rooftop, that all may know the truth? Is the truth so far from thy lips, Hester? Hast thou indeed buried it so deep? What can thy silence do for him, except to tempt him? Yea, compel him, as it were, to add hypocrisy to sin. Hester, have mercy on his soul and speak his name.
Woman, transgress not beyond the limits of heaven's mercy. Speak out the name, that and thy repentance may avail to take that scarlet letter off thy breast.
Never. It is too deeply branded. He shall never take it off. By it, I shall endure his agony as well as mine.
Spake, woman, spake. And give your child a father.
I will not speak. My child must seek a heavenly father. She shall never know an earthly one.
She will not speak. She will not speak.
Then she shall evermore wear the badge of shame upon her breast, dwelling in her humiliation alone.
This is the kitchen. What brings thee here, Master Chillingworth?
I'm a physician by profession.
And what are thy motives?
To seek a new life. Same as many before.
Why here? Why not to another colony?
Reverend Wilson, I've spent the last years wandering in the wilds, living with the natives in captivity. Now finally, I roam free. Haven't I earned the right to settle where I choose? Besides, didst thee speak not only moments ago of the great need the Reverend Dimsdale hath of me?
Indeed I did. It will do the man some good to have a physician for a friend.
And I promised my best for him.
This is the doorway to the garden. It is cared for by Reverend Dimsdale.
Thou wouldst do better to be cautious. It only takes one man, alone, in the woods.
Hast thou come for vengeance? For death be in thy heart, I bid thee think again ere you behold me fall.
Do you know me so little, Hester Prynne? And my purpose is so shallow. Even if I imagine a scheme of vengeance, what could I do better for my object than to let thee live? So that the burning shame may still blaze upon thy bosom. Live, therefore, and bear about your doom with you, in the eyes of all men and women, in the eyes of he who was your husband.
I thought you were dead.
Rather you hoped for my death. Dost thou not know thy husband? Oh. But another has thy heart. Another has taken my rightful place. I ask not wherefore, nor how you fell into this pit, Hester. The reason is not far. It was my folly and thy weakness. I, a man of thought. A man already in decay. What had I to do with youth and beauty like thine own? How could I delude myself with the idea that intellectual gifts might veil physical deformity in a younger girl's fantasy? Men called me wise. If I were wise, I might have foreseen this. Nay. From the moment we came down the old church steps together, a married pair, I might have beheld the balefire of that scarlet letter blazing at the end of our path.
You know that I was frank with you. I felt no love nor feigned any.
True. It was my folly, I've said it. Seemed not so wild a dream. Old as I was, somber as I was, misshapen as I was, that the simple bliss of marriage might be mine.
I hath greatly wronged thee.
Yea, Hester. Thou hast.
Thou mayest punish me, but leave the child in gentle hands.
What would urge me to harm this misbegotten and miserable babe? We've wronged each other. Mine was the first wrong. Therefore I plot no evil against thee. Between us, the scale hangs fairly balanced. But Hester, the man lives who has wronged us both. Who is he?
Ask me not. Thou shalt never know.
Never, thou sayest? Never know him? Believe me, Hester, there are few things hidden from the man who devotes himself earnestly and unreservedly to the revelation of a mystery. Thou mayest conceal it from the ministers and magistrates, but as for me, I shall inquest with senses they fail to possess. I shall seek this coward. I shall see him tremble. I shall catch him, suddenly and unawares. Sooner or later, he must needs be mine. Thou wilt not reveal his name. Nonetheless, he is mine. He bears no letter of infamy wrought upon his garment, but I shall read it upon his heart. Yet fear not for him. Think not that I shall interfere with heaven's own retribution, or betray him to human law. Neither shall I seek his life. No. Let him live. Let him breathe my retribution and suffocate upon his guilt.
Canst they find no mercy?
Hester. Hester.
Thy acts pretend mercy, but thy purpose is terror.
Mercy does not become me. One thing more. Thou hast kept the secret of thy paramour. Likewise, breathe not to any soul that thou didst ever call me husband.
Why not announce thyself openly and cast me off at once?
They would seek thy proper judgment. And I will be known for mercy should I spare thee from hanging. Let therefore thy husband be to the world as one already dead. Recognize me not. Breathe not this secret. Above all to the man thou wottest of. Shouldst thou fail me in this, beware. His fame, his position, his life will be in my hands. Swear this to me. Swear it.
Swear before God in heaven.
And now, Mistress Prynne, I leave thee alone. Alone with thy scarlet letter and thy infant. What is it, Hester? Doth thy sentence bind thee to wear the token in thy sleep? Art thou not afraid of nightmares and hideous dreams?
Dost thou smile so at me? Dost thou entice me into a bond that will prove the ruin of my soul?
Not thy soul. No, not thine.
That child is a curse, Hester. A curse from God. Better for that child to never see the light of the sun.
Hester. Hester. Where dost thou flee? Thy symbol has no purport beyond this colony. Didst thee really believe thee could be free of its grasp?
How didst thou find me here?
Thy footsteps leave a trail of blood, and I can sniff out 100 miles away.
Thou art a dog.
A hound.
Take me then to the magistrates. You who promised to never lay a hand on me.
Hester, my promise stands.
Then let me go!
Never. To let thee leave here, to let thee leave in peace is far from my purposes. We're only on even ground as long as thou bearest thy shame in that letter. And then in time, perhaps you may earn the right to remove it.
Thou would spin me into misery while my heart leaps beyond its boundaries.
Does it? Does your heart still find room for him?
It does. Thou may construct a barrier, but we will break it. Because you cannot tie down the human heart.
You're right. I tried once. I even believed that the law could. Rules might constrain a girl's passion. But I learned I was wrong. Hester, I tell you this.
I swear this, that you can and you will learn. His suffering is a patient teacher.
This lesson suffering shall never teach. Only God may still my heart.
Nevertheless, thou shalt learn. Though there be not walls round this colony, there is a barrier that keeps you here. It is I. Yea, Hester. For you and your beloved, there is no escape.
Heaven, forgive me my trespasses. Father, heaven, forgive me my trespasses. Father, heaven, forgive me my trespasses.
Is this thine?
Nay, that is the double sorcery that catches ministers and magistrates in sin.
If I did not know better, I would declare the child offspring of Lucifer himself.
She were born of the devil's devising.
What is this you say?
That is Esther Prynne's daughter, born 7 years ago. The offspring of her mother's iniquity.
Oh, so it is that we have an ill-raised child among us.
A taint upon our worthy society.
Good doctor, the mother has suffered much.
Then should the child fall into the same folly? Governor Billingham, we humiliate our community whilst we allow this child to reside in a heathen home.
Have no fear, Reverend. Every child in this colony is of importance in our sight, and we shall see that Hester also receives the instruction she requires.
What have we here? Madam Hester, I profess I have never seen the like since my days of vanity in old King James's time when I was accustomed to a masquerade.
Aye, indeed. What has ailed thy mother to bedizen thee in this scarlet plumage? Art thou a Christian child?
I am my mother's child. My name is Pearl.
Ruby, rather, or coral, or red rose, judging from thy hue.
Esther Prynne, what better time than now to speak with thee? There hath been much question concerning thee of late. The point hath been weightily discussed whether we, that are of authority and influence, can with good conscience trust in a mortal soul such as there is in yonder child, to the guidance of one who has stumbled and fallen amid the pitfalls of this world. Were it not, thinkest thou, for thy little one's temporal and eternal welfare, that she be taken out of thy charge and clad soberly and disciplined strictly and instructed in the truths of heaven and earth?
Governor Bellingham, I have brought thy gloves.
Dost thou mock him? What need hath the governor of such vanity when thy child's soul is at stake?
What canst thou do for the child?
I can teach my little Pearl the lessons I have learned from this.
Woman, it is thy badge of shame. It is because of the stain which that letter indicates that we will transfer thy child to other hands.
Nevertheless, it has taught me. It daily teaches me. It is teaching me at this very moment lessons whereof my child might be the wiser and better, albeit they can profit nothing to myself.
We will judge warily and look well what we are about to do. Good Master Wilson, I pray you, examine this Pearl and see whether she hath such Christian nurture as benefits a child of her age.
Aye. Pearl, thou must take heed to instruction, that so, in due season, thou mayest wear in thy bosom the pearl of great price. Canst thou tell me, my child, who made thee? My child, who made thee? Surely thy mother hath instructed thee. Dost thou not know?
Hath not been made. Plucked off the rose which outside the prison door.
This is awful. He is a child of 7 years old, and she cannot tell who made her. Without question, her soul abides in darkness. Methinks, gentlemen, we need inquire no further.
God gave me the child. He gave her in requital of all things else which he hath taken away from me. She is my happiness. She is my torture nonetheless. Pearl keeps me here in life. Pearl punishes me too. See ye not she is the Scarlet Letter, only capable of being loved, and so endowed with 1,000,000-fold the power of retribution for my sin. Ye shall not take her. I will die first.
My poor woman, the child shall be well cared for, far better than thou canst do it.
God gave her into my keeping. I will not give her up. Speak thou for me. Thou wast my pastor and had charge of my soul, and knows me better than any of these men can. I will not lose the child. Speak thou for me. Thou knowest what is in my heart and what are a mother's rights, and how much stronger they are when that mother has but her child in the Scarlet Letter. Look thou to it. I will not lose the child. Look to it.
There's truth in what she says, and in the feeling which inspires her. God gave her the child, and gave her, too, instinctive knowledge of its nature and requirements which no other mortal being can possess. And moreover, is there not a quality of awful sacredness in the relationship between this mother and this child?
How is that, good Master Dimmesdale? Make that plain, I pray you.
This child, of its father's guilt and its mother's shame, hath come from the hand of God to work in many ways upon her heart. Pleads so earnestly, and with such bitterness of spirit, the right to keep her. It was meant for a blessing, the one blessing of her life. It was meant, doubtless, as the mother herself had said, for retribution as well. A torture to be felt in many an unthought of moment. A pain, a sting, an ever-recurring agony in the midst of troubled joy. She recognizes, believe me, the solemn miracle which God hath wrought in the existence of the child. For Hester Prynne's sake, then, and no less this poor child's sake, let us leave them as Providence has seen fit to place them.
You speak, my friend, with a strange earnestness.
and there's a weight to import in what my young brother hath spoken. What say you, worshipful Master Billingham? Hath he not pleaded well for this poor woman?
Indeed hath he, and hath argued so well that we will leave the matter as it now stands, so long at least. There shall be no further scandal from the woman.
A strange child. It's easy to see the mother's part in her. Would it be beyond a philosopher's research, think you? To analyze that child's nature? And from its make and mold, to make a shrewd guess at the father?
Nay, it would be sinful in such a question to follow the clue of profane philosophy. Better to fast and pray upon it, and still better it may be to leave this mystery as we find it, unless Providence reveals it of its own accord. Thereby every good Christian man hath reason to show a father's kindness towards his poor, deserted babe.
Thy wisdom is truth, Brother Wilson.
Does the governor mock me? Does he mean to tear my heart? I confess I did wrong, will I nevermore know love? Has my sin cast a barrier between heaven and earth? I loved him. I loved him truly. Oh, that love might be sacred again and not forbidden. Oh, that I might love without defying the symbol that I wear. I am mad. Pearl, thy mother is mad.
Has the devil got hold of thee, Mother?
Perhaps he has, my Pearl. Perhaps this is all he has ever needed.
Where, my kind doctor? Did you gather those herbs?
They are new to me. I found them growing on a grave which bore no tombstone, save these ugly weeds which had taken it upon themselves to keep him in remembrance. They grew out of his heart, and typify, it may be, some hideous secret that was buried with him, and which he would have done better to confess during his lifetime.
Perchance he earnestly desired it, but could not.
Wherefore not? Would you have me to believe, O wise and pious friend, that a false show can be better? Can be more for God's glory than God's own truth? Trust me, such men deceive themselves.
It may be so. What think you of Hester Prynne? Is she the less miserable for the scarlet letter upon her breast?
I do verily believe it. Nevertheless, I cannot answer for her. It must be better for the sufferer to be free to show his pain, as the poor woman Hester does, and to cover it all up in his heart. But now I would ask of my well-skilled physician, whether in good sooth he deems me to have profited by his kindly care. Speak frankly, I pray you, be it for life or death.
Freely, then, and plainly. The disorder is a strange one. I should deem you a man sore sick, yet not so sick, but that an instructed and watchful physician might yet hope to cure you.
You speak in riddles, learned sir.
To speak more plainly, then, let me ask, as your friend, as one having charge under providence of your life and physical well-being, hath all the source of this ailment been laid open and recounted to me?
You deal not, I take it, with medicine for the soul.
This sickness in your spirit hath manifested itself in your bodily frame. How then may your doctor heal thy malady, unless you lay open to him the wound or sickness in your soul?
No, not to thee, not to an earthly physician, not to thee. But if it be the soul's disease, then do I commit myself to the one physician of the soul.
Thy soul hath been broken, Reverend. You are wise, but perchance you've not seen your own brokenness the way I have.
Who art thou to meddle in this matter? Who dares thrust himself between a sufferer and his God? Better to fall into the hands of an angry God than such a man as thee.
There is nothing lost! We shall be friends again anon!
Lord of heaven, forgive me my trespasses. Father of heaven, forgive me my trespasses. Father of heaven, forgive me my trespasses. Father of heaven, forgive me. Is there no hope for a sinner? It is finished. Everyone shall see me here. My shame is complete.
Who is there?
Pearl! Little Pearl! Hester! Hester Prynne, are you there?
It is Hester Prynne. It is I and my little Pearl.
Whence come you, Hester? What sent you hither?
I have been watching in a deathbed. Governor Winthrop's deathbed, and am now going homeward to my dwelling.
Come up hither, Hester. Thou and little Pearl. You have both been here before, though I was not with you. Come up hither once again, and we will stand here, all three together.
Minister,
What wouldst thou say, child?
wilt thou stand here with Mother and me tomorrow noontide?
Not so, my little Pearl. Not so, my child. I will stand with thy mother and thee one other time, but not tomorrow. A moment longer, child.
But wilt thou promise to take my hand and Mother's hand tomorrow noontide?
Not then, Pearl, but another time,
And what other time?
at the great judgment day. Then and there before the judgment seat, thy mother and thou and I shall stand together. But the daylight of this world shall not see our meeting.
Pious Master Dimsdale, can it be you? Do we dream in our waking moments and walk in our sleep? Come, good sir, and my dear friend, I pray you, let me lead you home.
How knewest thou that I was here?
Verily, I knew nothing of the matter. Come with me, I beseech you, Reverend Sir. See now, how these books trouble the brain. You should study less, good sir. Take up a little pastime, or else these night whimsies might grow on you.
Mistress Esther. Good day, Pearl. For have greatly benefited from thy leisure.
Far from my leisure, Reverend, it is my livelihood.
The straight and narrow path is hard, Esther, yet even you seem to find it profitable.
I beg you, sir, do not condescend when you find no time for the poor. It is a lowly occupation, but I believe it is pleasing to God.
Do not think, Hester, that thou canst earn thy place before the Heavenly Father. Every good deed you do cannot wash away the evil one that yet taints you.
My heart knows as much, sir. But surely God is forgiving.
God is very forgiving, Hester. You need only ask.
I thank thee for thy comfort. How may I help thee?
I've come to commission a christening robe. There are few things that deserve such fine embroidery. You will find it more pleasing to God to decorate that which is worthy. The babe will need it come Sabbath.
Run thee and play, my pearl. I would speak a word with you. A word that concerns us much.
And is it Mistress Hester that has a word for old Roger Chillingworth? With all my heart. Why, mistress, I hear good tidings of you on all hands. They say you're the town's own Hester, who's so kind to the poor, so helpful to the sick, so comfortable to the afflicted. Yesterday, a magistrate, a wise and godly man, whispered to me that there had been question concerning thee in the council. It was debated whether or not the scarlet letter might be taken off thy bosom. On my life, Hester, I made my entreaty to the worshipful magistrate that it might be done forthwith.
It lies not in the pleasure of the magistrates to remove this badge. Were I worthy to be quit of it, it would fall away of its own nature.
Nay then, wear it if it suit thee better. A woman must needs follow her own fancy, befitting the adornment of her person. What see you in my face, that you look at it so earnestly?
Something that would make me weep were there tears bitter enough for it. But let that pass. It is of yonder pitiable Arthur that I would speak.
And what of him? Not to hide the truth, mistress. My thoughts happen just now to be busy with the gentleman. So speak freely, and I'll make answer.
When we last spake, now 7 years ago, it was thy pleasure to extort a promise of secrecy concerning the former relation betwixt thyself and me. As the life and good fame of yonder man were in thy hands, there seemed to me to be no choice save to be silent. Since that day, no man has been nearer to him than thee. You tread behind his every footstep. You search his every thought. You burrow and fester in his heart. Your clutches on his life. You cause him to die daily, a living death, and still he knows thee not. In permitting this, I have surely acted falsely against my conscience.
What choice had you? My finger, pointed at this man, would have hurled him from his pulpit into a dungeon, thence peradventure to the gallows.
It had been better so.
What evil have I done the man? I tell thee, Hester Prynne, the richest fee that ever physician earned from monarch cannot have bought such care as I have wasted on this miserable priest.
Better he had died at once.
Yea, woman, thou sayest truly. Better had he died at once. Never did mortal suffer what this man has suffered, and all in the sight of his worst enemy. He has been conscious of me. He has felt my influence dwelling always upon him like a curse. He knew, by some spiritual sense, that no friendly hand was pulling at his heartstrings, and that an eye was looking curiously into him, which sought only evil, and found it. He fancied himself given over to a fiend, to be tortured with frightful dreams and desperate thoughts, the sting of remorse and despair of pardon, as a foretaste of what awaits him beyond the grave. But it was the constant shadow of my presence, the proximity of the man whom he'd most vilely wronged, and who had grown to exist only as a perpetual poison of the direst revenge.
I, once of human heart, have become a fiend for his especial torment.
Hast thou not tortured him enough? Has he not paid thee all?
No! No! He has but increased the debt. Dost thou remember me? Was I not, though you might have deemed me cold, nevertheless a man thoughtful for others? Kind, true, just, and of constant, if not warm, affections. Was it not all this?
All this and more.
And what am I now? I've already told thee what I am. A fiend. Who made me so?
It was myself. It was I, not him. Why hast thou not avenged thyself on me?
I've left thee to the Scarlet Letter. If thou hast not avenged me, I can do no more.
It has avenged thee.
I judge no less. And now, what wouldst thou have with the man?
I must reveal the secret. He must discern thee in thy true character. What may be the outcome I know not, but of his trust I can no longer be its bane and ruin. So far as concerns the overthrow or preservation of his fame or earthly state, or perchance his life, he is in thy hands. I perceive no advantage to prolonging a life of ghastly emptiness, so I will not implore thy mercy. Do with him as thou wilt. There can be no good for him, no good for me, no good for thee. There is no path to guide us out of this dismal maze.
Woman, I cannot pity thee. Perhaps hadst thou met earlier with a better love than mine, this evil had not been. I pity thee for the good that's been wasted in thy nature.
And I thee for the hatred that has transformed a wise and just man into a fiend. I said just now that there could be no good outcome for him, for thee or me. It is not so. There might be good for thee, and for thee alone. For thou hast been deeply wronged, and as it at thy will to pardon, wilt thou give up that only privilege?
Peace, Hester. I cannot pardon. I have no such power. By thy first step awry, didst thou plant the germ of evil. Since that moment, it's all been a dark necessity. It is our fate. Let the black flower blossom. Now go thy ways, and deal with yonder man as thou wilt.
Be it sin or no, I detest the man.
The devil haunts this forest and carries a book with him, a big, heavy book with hand clasps. This monster offers his book and an iron pen to everybody that meets him here among the trees, and then they are to write their names with their own blood. Then he sets his mark on their bosoms. Dost thou believe me, Mother? Didst thou ever meet the devil?
Where didst thou hear this story, my pearl?
From the old dame in the chimney corner at the house we watched last night. She said that 1,000 upon 1,000 had met him here, had written in his book, and has marked upon them that this scarlet letter was the devil's mark on thee.
Didst thou ever awake and find thy mother gone?
Not that I remember, but, Mother, is there such a devil? And didst thou ever meet him?
Once in my life I met him. This letter is his mark. I hear footsteps along the path, my pearl. I would have thee betake thyself to play, and let me speak with him that comes hither.
Is it the devil?
Go, silly child, it is the minister.
And Mother, he has his hand over his heart. Is it because the devil set his mark in that place?
Silence, child. Thou shalt tease me as thou wilt another time. Arthur Timsdale.
Hester. Hester Prynne, is it you?
Even so.
Hester. Hast thou found peace?
Hast thou?
Were I an atheist, a man devoid of conscience, I might have found peace long ere now. Nay, I never should have lost it. But as matters stand with my soul, all of God's gifts that were the choicest have become the ministers of spiritual torment. Hester, I am most miserable.
People reverence thee. Surely thou workest good among them. Doth this bring thee no comfort?
What can a ruined soul like mine affect towards the redemption of other souls? And as for the people's reverence, would that it would turn to scorn and hatred. Hester, of what consolation is it to stand in my pulpit and meet so many eyes turned upward to my face, as if the light of heaven were beaming from it? Then look inward and discern the black reality of what they idolize. I've laughed in bitterness and agony of art, the contrast between what I seem and what I am. And Satan laughs at it.
You wrong yourself in this. You have deeply and sorely repented. Your sin is left behind you in days long past. Your present life is no less holy in very truth than it seems in people's eyes. Is there no reality in the penitence thus sealed and witnessed by good works? And wherefore should it not bring you peace?
No, Hester, no. There's no substance in it. Of penance, I've had enough. Of penitence, there's been none. So I should long ago have thrown off this false holiness, show myself to mankind as they will see me at the judgment seat. But I have but one friend, to whom I was the worst of sinners. My soul might yet hope to live.
Such a friend as thou hast even now wished for, with whom to weep over thy sin you have in me, the partner of it. Thou hast long had such an enemy, and dwellest with him under the same roof.
What sayest thou? What sort of enemy?
Arthur, forgive me. In all things else I have striven to be true. Truth was the one virtue which I might have held fast, and did hold fast. Save that thy good, thy life, thy fame were called into question. And I consented to a deception. But a lie is never wholesome, even though death doth threaten. Canst thou not see? The old man, the physician, the one whom they call Roger Chillingworth. He was my husband.
I might have known it. I did know it. It was not the secret told me, the natural recoil of my heart at the first sight of him, as often as I have seen him. Why did I not understand? Woman, thou art accountable for this. I cannot forgive thee.
Thou shalt forgive me. God shall punish, thou shalt forgive. Thou yet forgive me. Thou not frown, thou forgive.
I do forgive you. Yes. I freely forgive you now. May God forgive us both. We are not, Esther, the worst sinners in the world. There is one worse than even the polluted priests. That old man's revenge has been blacker than my sin. He has violated in cold blood the sanctity of a human heart. Thou and I, Hester, never did so.
No, never. What we did had a consecration of our own. We felt it so, we said so to each other. Hast thou forgotten it?
Hush, Hester. No, I have not forgotten. We spake wrongly. We knew wrongly. We lived wrongly. And thus we acted wrongly. Hester, here is a new horror. Roger Chillingworth knows your purpose to reveal his true character. Will he continue then to keep our secret? What will now be the course of his revenge?
I deem it not likely that he will betray the secret. He will doubtless find other means of satiating his dark passion.
And I? How am I to live longer, breathing the same air as this deadly enemy? Think for me, Hester. Thou art strong. Resolve for me.
Thou must dwell no longer with this man. Your heart must no longer be under his evil eye.
It were far worse than death. But how to avoid it? Must I sink down here and die at once?
Must thou die for very weakness?
The judgment of God is on me. It is too mighty for me to struggle with.
Heaven would show mercy if thou had but the strength to take advantage of it.
Be thou strong for me. Advise me what to do.
Is the world then so narrow? Doth the universe lie within the compass of yonder town? Whither leads this forest track? Deeper it goes and deeper into the wilderness. There thou art free. So brief a journey would take thee from a world where thou hast been most wretched to one where thou mayest still be happy. Is there not enough shade in all this boundless forest to hide thy heart from the gaze of Roger Chillingworth?
Yes, Hester, but only under the fallen leaves.
Then there is the broad pathway to the sea. It brought thee hence. If thou so choose it, it will bear thee back again.
It cannot be. I am powerless to go. Wretched and sinful as I am, I have had no other thought than to languish on in the sphere where Providence hath placed me.
Thou art crushed under 7 years' weight of misery. But thou shalt leave it all behind thee. Leave behind this wreck and ruin where this hath happened. Begin all anew. Exchange this false life of thine for another. Preach, write, act. Do anything save but lie down and die. Give up the name of Arthur Dimmesdale and make for thyself a new one.
Thou speakest of running a race to a man whose knees are tottering beneath him. must die here, Hester. Alone.
I shall not go alone.
If, in all these past 7 years, I could recall one instant of peace or hope, I would yet endure for the sake of heaven's mercy. But now, since I am irrevocably doomed, why should I not snatch the solace allowed the condemned culprit before his execution? O thou to whom I dare not lift mine eyes, wilt thou yet pardon me?
Thou wilt go. I shall secure a passage on a ship 3 days hence. Let us not look back. The past is gone. Wherefore should we linger upon it now?
Reverend Dimsdale!
Oh, pardon me, sir.
What is this that haunts and tempts me thus? Am I mad? Or am I given over utterly to the fiend? Did I make a contract with him in the forest? Sign it with my blood. Have I then sold myself? Come in.
Welcome home, Reverend Sir. Dear sir, you look pale. Will my aid be requisite to put you in heart and strength to preach your election sermon on the morrow?
I think not. My journey and the free air which I have breathed have done me good after so long confinement in my study. I think I need no more of your drugs, my conductor.
Were it not better for you to use my poor skills tonight? Verily, dear sir, we must take great pains to make you strong and vigorous for this occasion of the election discourse. The people expect great things from you. They apprehend that another year may go about, and they find their pastor gone.
Yea, to another world. Heaven grant it be a better one. But touching your medicine, Conser, I need it not.
I joy to hear it. It may be my remedies, so long administered in vain, begin now to take their due effect.
I thank you with my heart, most watchful friend. I can but reward your good deeds with my prayers.
The prayers of a good man, a golden recompense.
I thank thee again, good sir, and must beg to be excused to prepare my discourse.
the day the two were torn apart.
Why, what is this, Mother? Wherefore have all these people left their work today? Is it a play day for the whole world?
The governor shall receive office today at the hands of the people.
And will the minister be there? And will he hold out his hands to us, as he did before?
He will be there, my child, but he will not greet thee today, nor must thou greet him.
What a strange, sad man he is. Strange, sad man he is, with his hand always over his heart.
Be quiet, Pearl. Thou understandest not these things.
The mistress. I must bid the steward make ready one more berth than you bargained for. No fear of scurvy or ship fever this voyage. What with the ship's doctor and this other surgeon, our only danger will be from drug or pill.
What mean you? Have you another passenger?
Why, know you not this other doctor, Master Chillingworth he called himself? Well, he's minded to try my cabin fare with you. Aye, you must ignore it. For he tells me he's of your party, and a close friend of the gentleman you spoke of.
They know each other well.
Let us pray. O Heavenly Father of our precious children, forgive thy people their trespasses as they come before thee in celebration of natural law, which is upheld by thy good, grace, and favor, which abounds throughout the world, Lord. the mighty justice of your father, my father, our father, will be poured down in the likeness of fire and brimstone on the days of his wrath. Then how doth the psalmist speak of tender mercies? For indeed, in justice there is a measure of mercy, not unlike which we saw in the days of the Old Testament. He speaketh unto our hearts. He pricks us in the moments we least suspect it. He teaches us even now that we are in need of him. When we think we are strong, we are at our weakest. When we fall to our knees before him, he will give us strength. He will raise us up. If we look heavenward and seek his face. It had been better I died before Roger Chillingworth knew my name. It had been better I died before I defiled the daughter of the Most High God. My very existence is a mockery to the God I feign to love. If forgiveness has a way, I shall find it in death, and mayhap the others may find it in life. Hester, come hither. My little pearl.
Madman, hold. What is your purpose? Wave back that woman. Cast off this child. All shall be well. Do not blacken your fame and perish in dishonor. How can yet save you? Would you bring infamy on your sacred profession?
Tempter! These things so are too late! The power is not what it was. With God's help, I shall escape thee now. Hester Prynne, in the name of him so terrible and merciful, who gives me grace at this last moment to do withheld myself from doing 7 years ago. Come hither now, and twine thy strength about me. Thy strength, Hester. But let it be guided by the will which God hath granted me. This wretched and wronged old man is opposing it with all his might. With all his might and the fiends. Come, Hester. Come.
Hadst thou sought the whole earth over, there was no one secret place, no high or lowly place where thou couldst escape me, save on this very scaffold.
Thanks be to him who hath led me hither. Is not this better than what we dreamed of in the forest?
I know not. I know not better. So we may die and little Pearl die with us?
For thee, little Pearl, be it as God shall order. And God is merciful.
Is he? And God forgive?
He hath already forgiven in his death. Let me now do the will which God hath made so plain before my sight. For Hester, I am a dying man. Let me now make haste to take this shame upon me. Help me, Hester. People of my colony, Ye that have loved me, ye that have deemed me holy, behold me now, the one sinner of the world. At last, I stand upon the spot where 7 years since I should have stood with this woman. Lo, the scarlet letter which Hester wears. Ye have all shuddered at it. Wherever her walks hath been, hath cast an lurid gleam of awe and horrible repugnance round about her. But there stood one in the midst of you, whose brand of sin and infamy ye have not shuddered. It was on him. God's eyes beheld it. The angels were forever pointing at it. The devil knew it well. He fretted it continually with the touch of his burning finger. Now, at the death hour, he stands up before you. He bids you look again at Hester's scarlet letter. He tells you that with all its mysterious horror, it is but a shadow of what he bears on his own breast. And even worse, that which is seared on his inmost heart. Stand any here who question God's judgment on a sinner. Behold! Behold! The dreadful witness of it!
Thou hast escaped me. Thou hast escaped me.
God forgive thee. Thou doest deeply sin. Little Pearl. Dear little Pearl. Wilt thou kiss me now? Kiss me. Hester farewell.
Shall we not meet again? Shall we not spend our immortal life together? Surely we have ransomed one another with all this woe. Thou lookest far into eternity with those bright, dying eyes. Tell me what thou seest.
Hush, Hester. The law we broke. The sin here so awfully revealed. Let these alone be in my thoughts. I fear it may be that when we forgot our God, it was henceforth pain to hope we could meet hereafter in an everlasting and pure reunion. God knows, and He is merciful. He hath proved His mercies. Most of all, in my afflictions. By sending yonder dark and terrible old man to keep the torturer always at ready. And by bringing me hither to die this death of triumphant ignominy before the people. Had either of these
is Hercules. Haunted. Hide us forever. First be stay. As well. He died.
Why does the sinner still live, God? Why am I still alive? Thou could have killed me also. I have only done wrong. All the charity on earth could not atone. Forgive me. Forgive me.
Come outside while it's yet day.
What for?
To play. Toss it.
Pearl?
Chase me. There's another man with a book. He seeks the names of those who are written in the Devil's Book, writes them in his own, puts his own mark upon them.
And what comes of the Devil's Book?
The maker refuses to read the Devil's pages. He reads only his own.
Where didst thou hear this?
The Reverend just told me.
Shall I ever know forgiveness?
Canst thou believe its truth?
How can I? For one as fallen as I.
It is his mercy shouldst thou trust his forgiveness.
Is their love not forbidden for me?
Though all men would seek to estrange us to love, the one above, whom hath been most sorely wronged, holds open his arms. To the broken woman fallen at his feet, he doth kneel beside and whisper, "Thou art mine."